Yo, what's up, family? Before we start the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and share it in everyone that you can. Just get out there a little bit more. With that being said, let's get right into the video. Without Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, Kristaps Porzingis stepped into the role of being the #1 option on offense, and he did a phenomenal job impacting the game, and I wanted to take a look. So let's get into the film. All right, how y'all doing? I hope y'all doing good. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not, make sure you take your shoes off before you come in the house. And like I said, Kristaps Porzingis dominated this game with his impact. He had 25 points, 13 rebounds, 3 assists in just 29 minutes, and he had added 3 blocks to that as well. So here are the Celtics on the first play. They ran a really good play for Porzingis. All right, so first we got a pin down screen by Sam Hauser for Al Horford. So Al Horford can come up here to the top of the key, and the Celtics like post entry passes have been something that they have needed to work on. So I think just getting them into better angles to begin with so they can throw these passes is just something that can really help this team. So we got Sam Hauser again setting that pin down screen. Then he's gonna set this back screen for Kristaps Porzingis so he can get a switch. Well, it doesn't really matter which either one of these guys, Cam Johnson or Zaire, checks Kristaps Porzingis, but it is just to get Kristaps closer to the basket, into the paint, and you see that angle there. Al Horford is able to just put it right on the right side of Porzingis, and he drew 8 fouls in this game, 4 shooting, 4 on the floor, and there with that 1. All right, so here we got some angle pick and roll right there to get the switch on D'Angelo Russell. I like the release angle of this screen by Kristaps Porzingis because you can see that there is a passing lane for him to get this post entry, but you do see Cam Johnson over here creeping. So if this pass does go over top to Kristaps Porzingis, Cam Johnson is right there to help. So there's a really important pass that happens here. This pass to Derek White to the top of the key does 2 things. It gives a better post-entry angle to Kristaps Porzingis, and it resets the help of Cam Johnson. So you see that he's there with the ball on the wing. But then when the pass goes to the top of the key, he has to get out of the paint because of 3 seconds. So he moves. That leaves it wide open. Kristaps Porzingis makes an incredible play. One-handed catch, motion, all one motion, catch, finish with the right hand scoop. And then his length playing a factor on the defensive side of the ball here. We got Claxton about to come up, set this flare screen for Cam Johnson. He tips the ball, and Derek White does the right thing. Rewards a big man. All right, so here first, we got a screen by Kristaps Porzingis. He's going to change the angle of the screen at the last second so we can get D'Angelo Russell on him. So he's going to come up on this side, but then he's going to set the screen over here. So we have that, and then after that, he does a nice job again of the release angle right there, gets into the paint. Nick Claxton steps up off of Al Horford in the corner. They try to scram switch D'Angelo Russell. Now that Claxton has stepped up, that means Cam Johnson is being tasked with guarding Al Horford and Jrue Holiday. Since Porzingis is low into the paint, Cam Johnson just naturally drops down to Al Horford here, which leaves Jrue Holiday open for 3. He didn't make it, but you can see the impact of Porzingis on this possession. And Porzingis was really impressive as a passer in this game. Like, everything was on time and on target. There were some times where he caught the ball and he knew he was going to get extra bodies, but he still backed down a couple more times just to actually draw the double team and actually draw the defense in so his teammates can be a lot more open. And then there were other times where he's just making very quick decisions into the shooting pockets of our shooters. So here he's mismatched against Maxwell Lewis. You see Trendon Watford coming over there right there with the cut by Luke Cornett. Day'Ron Sharpe comes down, but he puts it in a really good area to Sam Hauser. He just missed a 3. And of course, we know the impact of Porzingis on the defensive side of the ball as a rim protector and as a helper. The Celtics usually have him guarding the opposing team's worst perimeter shooter, so he can just come off and help on people's drives. He does that here on Maxwell Lewis, forces a miss. And in addition to the post game, in addition to the rim protection and being a good help defender, Kristaps Porzingis is also someone that provides premium spacing on the offensive side of the floor. When he rolls, he's a vertical spacer just because of how tall and how athletic he is. And then on the offense side of the ball, again, Kristaps Porzingis is one of the best deep range shot makers. He takes a lot of deep threes, and it puts so much pressure on opposing bigs. Here you see the pop, but he like slips into the pop because the Nets were expecting Kristaps to actually set this screen and try to get this switch on Zaire as Claxton is guarding Porzingis on this possession, which wasn't the case for the majority of this game. But he like slips it, and they just don't expect that, and Kristaps Porzingis hits a deep 3. All right, so here just a crazy all-around defensive possession by Kristaps Porzingis. So first we're gonna have Nick Claxton. He's gonna change the angle of this pick and roll. Does a nice job of like kind of faking out Porzingis. Gets into that screen really quickly, and changing the angle means that Kristaps not only has to guard Cam Johnson, but he has to come over and then guard Cam Johnson. He does a nice job sticking with him with that dribble move. He does get off his feet a little bit, but then he does a nice job using his length to cloud the vision of Cam Johnson. They get it into Nick Claxton, but as he spins, Kristaps coming down to help. He's there. He gets off his feet again, but the pogo stick ability and the second jump of a guy that big is very impressive. And sometimes no screen is needed. You already have the matchup that you want, so you go straight to the free throw line. He does a nice job being tall. Derek White putting the ball up there, and look at this pass. We have seen Porzingis do this numerous times where he's just using his length, right? He knows where the defense is coming from. He knows that they're going to tilt towards him, and they're going to bring guys over there, especially when he has a mismatch. So sometimes when he's in a crowded area, he's going to just do this like he's dunking the ball. You could probably put a rim right here and it looks like he's slamming the ball down, but he doesn't come all the way down with the ball because that is so important. The timing of these things is so important. He comes down with the ball sometimes and he's just in the crowd, but he does that all in one motion, catch, pass to Al Horford out, and he knocks it down. All right, so here we got Kristaps setting the screen here to get a switch on Keon Johnson. He gets a post up on the elbow, and I love how strong this take is. So he catches it, he faces up, leans, puts his body on Keon Johnson, leans into him, and just goes right to the paint. He gets a bucket. All right, so here we got another switch with Kristaps Porzingis setting the screen to get onto Keon Johnson. Jordy Fernandez does a nice job with his coverages. Like the last game we played the Nets, he was doubling, triple teaming Jason Tatum the whole game. It's not that it's gonna work, but he like really presents some sort of game plan to these regular season games, and I just like that for a coach. But I say that because there were some times where the Nets weren't instantly bringing two guys. They were doing that a lot in the first half, and they were just doing it really sporadically. Like they were changing up the coverages, which I do like. But Kristaps Porzingis just knows that Zaire Williams is coming right there and gets Derek White an open three. Some more good defense by Kristaps Porzingis here on the screen. Comes up, forces the pickup by Keon Johnson. He has to get the ball out of his hands. He cuts, but Kristaps swats it away. All right, so this is not the first time that this happened. Like Kristaps being like doubled or sent to at on the inbound post up. So in the first quarter, the Celtics had the ball on the sidelines out of bounds play, and they were just trying to get the ball into Kristaps Porzingis as he was posted up. And the Nets fouled him 2 straight times on the inbound. So the third attempt of the Celtics trying to get the ball to Kristaps, the Nets just double teamed him and made the ball go somewhere else. So they do that here with 1.7 seconds left. And again, it's Kristaps on point, on target, quick passes, 0.5 decisions sometimes. Again, there's times where he's getting the ball in the post and he's trying to back them down to force his double team to come. But then there's some times where he sees it coming, he knows what's happening, and he gets the ball out quick. Here, again, the one-handed plays, the catch, all in one motion, catches and passes right here was a really good decision with the clock going down and a Shaman 3. All right, so here Kristaps gets great post-up position after the offensive rebound. Pretty sure is going to pass it to Drew Holiday for a better post-entry angle. And look at the defense right now, right? So we have 4 guys outside of the paint, right? And we have one Clowney, of course, because he's being posted up by Kristaps Porzingis. Watch what happens when Kristaps catches this ball. Floor shrinks instantly. Tyrese Martin has 1 foot in the paint. Trendon Watford is in the paint, of course, Clowney. And then you got Maxwell Lewis turning his back to Drew Holiday. Kristaps again puts the pass in the right place and gets the hockey assist for the Shaman 3. All right, so here another sidelines out of bounds post up. You see Cam Johnson kind of trying to go back a little bit, but Kristaps just takes matters into his own hands here. Gets double teamed, doesn't matter. Gets the and one in the paint. All right, so here again we got Kristaps setting the screen, get the mismatch on D'Lo. He's going to set up shop at the free throw line. Pritchard's going to get the ball into him at any point. All right, gets it in. And Zaire Williams gambles backside. Now your whole defense is into rotation, right? Now Keon Johnson is tasked with coming over to Al Horford off of Drew Holiday in the dunker spot. I don't know, but Kristaps Porzingis, nice effortless bounce pass there. Drew gets a left-hand layup. All right, so they got Claxton guarding Porzingis. Of course, we're going to set that screen to get the switch. And the Celtics post-entry passes were amazing in this game, but they did their work early in terms of that. So they set up and they did the extra pass to get the better angle for the post-entry. So you see here the pass to Drew Holiday, and as Zaire Williams is like in front of him, you see how Kristaps is going to shield him. So now this is perfect, right? We got a perfect angle, perfect lob pass in there by Drew Holiday, and Kristaps banks it in. And Kristaps really just showed the whole arsenal in this game, the posting up, the 3-point, well, he only hit 1 3, but the posting up, the impact as a passer off his post-ups, and ending it off with some defense here with the block, just basically sealed the game. But that is the video. If you enjoyed it, please leave a like, subscribe, and share it in everyone that you can. Just shoot out there a little bit more. Now we'll see you guys in the next video. But this is Nick. Peace.